Well, I figured I'd do this for fun. It's Christmas Day. It's a little something different to do. So we're gonna sit and watch an hour of the previous episode with Sean Ross Sapp. I'm gonna put this out there. Mm-hmm. All right. So figure, like I said, something different. It's Christmas. Why not have something fun? I'm trying to, at least. So yeah, why don't we have a watch along, watch a previous episode from a few months back with talk about Night of Champions, talk about a bunch of stuff. I was really appreciative of Sean actually being on it. Sean is a huge mentor of mine. Him, Robin Warren, all together. Um, they they've helped me a lot for doing this show, and it was really huge for me to have Sean on, and it was really much appreciated of it. There's words that can't describe having him on and having people that I look up to on and stuff in the community, and it meant a lot. So let's have some fun, watch me cringe a little bit, and go from there. Tim, let me know the audio is okay. It's so weird seeing me like this 6 months ago, 6, 7 months ago. With OBS, you usually would have issues with mine, and at this point, we were having internet issues. I'm glad I use StreamYards now because OBS does that. It cuts in and out sometimes. At this point, I've actually resized this whole thing 3 times on air while live, and OBS has always had an issue when we did our match memory. It was the same problem. It's surprising how early about this that we were joking around about Kalisto possibly being a heel at a certain point, and then now it's like you look at it a little bit. They're not being used that much, but at that point, it was interesting. It really is weird watching myself on camera. And it's interesting because now I see like a lot of stuff facially and everything, and I've pretty much lost some weight, and but like I said, we were watching here a previous episode about a few months ago with Sean Ross Sapp. Like I said, one of the guys I really look up to, and I appreciate it. Hopefully in the next year, depending on how things go with schedules and stuff, I could probably I'm hoping we could work something out down the line. It'd be every time he's on or he helps me, it's a bigger honor. And him and Rob and Warren are very huge in the instrumental of me getting this stuff going. So if they're watching, Merry Christmas, guys, and I appreciate it. Yeah, now we call him the head of the table too, which is great. But 2 months ago, this was September, so I mean, at this point, it was always great to speculate. But a lot now, looking back, a lot of the stuff that we were talking about or thought of manifested a little bit, I think. By the way, Sean was right. I should have given him a better intro. I gotta get me a Bengals hat. That hat doesn't work with that shirt. It's funny too because now if you've noticed some of these pay-per-views, except for the NXT ones, it's primarily SmackDown heavy. Because Fox had their 2 cents probably put in. By the way, guys, hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. We're doing a watch along right now. Just pop in the chat, say hi. It was pretty much the worst time ever to have an issue with the internet with Comcast. It was horrible, and this was like 11 minutes in. Yeah, skip forward a little bit. Still is. It is. And how wrong are we on that? That match was killer. O'Reilly and Finn. Oh my god. It literally, it was not a soft match. That was a hard hitting match. That was a really good match. I was like, what am I thinking now looking at this? More problems with Streamlab. This is why I use StreamYard now more and more, because it's more fluent. It doesn't use my bandwidth as much. Still am. Two months later, and they are actually just about to pull it off. Merry Christmas, Steven.
Merry Christmas, dude. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Thank you for joining me watching my own shit.
Sorry, I probably had an echo there. I was watching you on the my computer there. I don't have my microphone plugged in at the moment, so I hope you can hear me all right.
Yeah, I can. It's so weird looking back and watching my own stuff. And I figured because this is the one show that had most problems with it, I might as well just throw it out there. And now, like, watching it and actually sitting it, you see all the deficiencies with OBS, like how the camera goes up and down and stuff. And I'm like watching, I'm cringing now.
Dude, OBS, I still use that for me and Jesse's show most of the time. Like, I actually like StreamYard better. I just don't have like as much like, there's some stuff you can do it. You can probably do it with Streamlabs now, but like at the time, like there's, like we have like the donation alerts and stuff like that people like a lot. I don't know how to put that into StreamYard at least yet. But like this is a way easier program to use for sure. I mean, and it doesn't fucking kill your computer where like there's no like audio lag like you get with OBS, and like you were saying, every now and then the camera will just like get bigger or smaller or move or something. It's just like I'm with you.
And for me, it's more efficient to have StreamYard because of the fact that I could have you on, I could have you, Warren, and I get multiple people on. I mean, look at the Christmas party for Fightful. They had 10 people on.
Yeah, a lot of people. And yeah, thank you to them. I mean, we all got little bonuses because all the donations and stuff. So that was much appreciated. Really nice of them to do that. So
Yeah, I wish I could, but bills came out at the same day. So I dropped I put money into the distraction yesterday, and I'm like, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere.
Hey, I mean, this is the fact that you're out there supporting people, man. It's always appreciated, dude.
Yeah. So you had a good Christmas so far?
Dude, I haven't been able to do anything. My brother has COVID, so I've been he got sick over the weekend. He went to the doctor and was like officially announced that he's positive for it on Monday. So we had to push all of our Christmas stuff back a week. So I'm just sitting around. I've never really done anything. So, but I mean, it isn't a bad Christmas. Like, I'll get all my presents and see my family in about a week, but I'm just hanging out, dude.
Yeah, it's just me and my sister. We're gonna go see my friends in about a couple hours. So other than that, it's just been very emotional. So
understandable. Yeah, man. So this is like the first like big Christmas since your mom passed.
The second.
Okay, gotcha.
But still, it doesn't make it any easier.
Oh,
it will
I know,
eventually.
Man.
It will eventually. It's still like everybody's like, oh, she don't even want. I'm like, it's different from people saying it, but once they've experienced it, it's different. So
yeah, it's one of those things, man. Like, just kind of from my own experience, like, I think I'm a lot like you. Like, I think we're both pretty emotional dudes as far as, like, you know what I mean? I can tell you miss her a lot, and my mom passed away in 2002, so almost 20 years now, and it absolutely gets better. Like, it absolutely gets easier. But then there are those certain like certain things that'll happen that'll like it really brings it back. And it's like this year, dude, I don't know what it was, like over Hanukkah, because my mother was Jewish. Over Hanukkah, like this year, I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know if it's because like I was actually because I've started celebrating Hanukkah again. Like I didn't for a long time. And over the last couple of years, I like started buying a menorah and just little things because she was so into it. And dude, it hit me hard over this past year, about a week or two ago during Hanukkah. Man, I was a fucking wreck for like 2 or 3 days straight. So, but I'm telling you this because it's fucking normal. Like, it's totally fucking normal to be like, I mean, and until people go through it, it's really, really hard to like really be able to understand, you know?
Yeah, it's one thing of actually, saying, hey, you'll be fine and all that stuff. She wouldn't want you to be like this. Yeah, it's different when you're actually going through it, and there are very few people that can understand that. But
yeah,
so
man.
Have you ever had any major technical issues while you're in the middle of a show like this many? The internet cut out. OBS wasn't working properly. The internet dropped. Sean froze like 3 times. I was like, okay, I got to put this all together into one and just let it go. I mean, that's why there's 2 videos of it on the channel, though.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing. And that's also the thing with OBS that I'm not real sure about is like, because I can see you have all that other stuff on there, like the Warren Hayes and the other logos and stuff you have on there. And I think all of that like contributes to slowing OBS down at least a little bit. Like me and Jesse have a lot of that stuff also. And I've noticed like when I have a lot of that stuff running is when it would get slower. But the thing is, a lot of what OBS has to do with is like your actual hardware a lot of the time, because like sometimes I would literally run the same exact stuff off my laptop, which is what I run almost everything off my laptop. I got a good laptop. I do all my video editing with it. But I've also used this same exact setup in someone else's desk, like a higher powered desktop, and didn't have any of those issues. So it's like, and obviously not a whole lot of people are going to be in the position to just like buy new PCs every time that like OBS does an update or something like that. You know what I mean? That's why I think like StreamYard is, I think that's the future for streaming, unless OBS can can keep up. Because like you said, they made it so easy to live stream through this thing. So
I think everybody, including Tim and Joel, have had the same issues. Not us for the entire audio shit in the bed last night. Yeah, that happens too. I mean, it literally took me like 3 minutes to edit both of them in together, but it's fun just to see like how like it opens and closes, and then for the longest time it was fine, and then all of a sudden it just went acting up. But with StreamYards, it's almost a lot more easier to do some of this stuff. Like right now, I'm doing share screen without having to do NDI or anything. I have you on it there, and I don't have to. I could have Tim or Joel pop in, and I can have all of us on the same screen, and it doesn't slow it down. It's the only downside is if you want the higher end version of it, you have to pay for it. But
yeah,
it is what it is.
Sure. I don't even know how much that is. It probably isn't even that expensive. Like I know they do the thing where you can like overlay the StreamYard logo with your own logo and all that stuff and extra features.
Yeah, it's $250 a year. So if you divide that, that's literally like $20 a month almost.
That's not. That's worth it if you're doing enough in like super chats and whatnot, or Google AdSense or whatever. I mean, $20 a month isn't terrible if you break it down that way, but it does seem like a lot still. Like, especially because OBS is totally free. I'm not saying that there's more expensive versions of OBS, but you wouldn't really need them unless you're like Ninja or some like super high level streamer that has hundreds of thousands of live viewers kind of thing. But I mean, but at the same time, they are offering this free version of StreamYard. So, I mean, to be fair, like, this is pretty cool that you're able to do this for free. And what's up, everyone in the chat? I see Wrestling Plug and Tim and Joel calling in the ring, all in there. Hope you guys are all happy holidays.
They're all popping in and out and checking in and out. So, I mean, everybody's got their families. So,
sure.
Unless you paid for 1080p.
1080p. Oh, yeah, let me see that. No, unless you paid for 1080, or their annual rate was a killer for us. StreamYards is great. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you were doing like, more. I mean, it depends on kind of what the goal of like your show is, I guess. At the end of the day, if it's more to just kind of hang out and chill, then like free software is great. And like for when me and Jesse do, it's great too, because we're still just using the free OBS software. It just becomes a pain in the ass if we ever want to have more than just us on there, because then it really screws things up with the 3 cameras, with the NDI and all that stuff.
Right, Joel? Right, Joel and Tim? Literally, we tried doing that, and it literally just lagged. That's the next thing I'm going to probably end up doing around my birthday is try to see if they're free to do a watch along, if there's anything around. Hell, at this point, I'm ready to do a watch along on anime. Just for the hell of it.
I never got into anime, but there are certain shows that I would be willing to watch just because I know people are so into it. Do you watch anime, or is there like anything I should check out?
If you want, start with were you a Dragon Ball fan a little bit? Like when you see it on like TV and everything?
I never got into
back in the day.
I never got into it, but I liked the action figures. Like my friends had the action figures, so like I'm familiar with like who like Dokkan is and that kind of stuff. But Frieza, I know Frieza is. He's an action figure.
Yeah, Goku. What I would start is if this is just me saying it, if you're just getting into anime in general and just curious, I'd start with the old school anime stuff, like the original Dragon Ball. What I have is, and you can get that on Hulu now. So like it's all in English and you could actually listen to all of it. The downside is with the original Dragon Ball, there's 455 episodes.
So that's awesome. It's awesome though if you wind up liking it, because that's like something you can sit around and watch over the span of like a couple of weeks or whatever.
But if you're a casual person that wants to get into the current era, I generally try to tell people to start with Dragon Ball Z Kai, because it's an updated version of Dragon Ball Z, and work your way. But if you seen like Battle of Gods or something like that, the Brawly movie that came out a few years ago, then go straight to Super, and and just skip over the first arc because it's some of the first 2 arcs on it's just recaps, and then just go straight to the Future Saga, and then just work your way up to the Tournament of Power, and the Tournament of Power is phenomenal. Another one I finished watching was the Asterisk War, was really good. There's everybody goes for like the hardcore stuff more so, like Attack on Titan and everything. So, but for me, it's more so like, stuff that has a good story to get into it. So, plus there's puns in Dragon Ball anyways. I mean, Kakarot, carrot, Vegeta, vegetable.
Okay. So, so I think that all sounds like right up my alley. I mean, I know Dragon Ball is very like, obviously it's really story based, but there's a lot of action and stuff. Sounds a lot like pro wrestling. I've heard of that Attack on
Titan.
I've heard people mention that one. There's a lot of, it's funny because like a lot of the people I know are into this. I just never had interest. So like I've heard of these things. Apparently that's a really good show though. That Attack on Titans, like I hear like that's like amazing.
Yeah, it is. All right, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna pop off for a sec because nature calls, but I'll just keep going on there, and you can give your opinion on what you've seen on the show.
Yeah, turn the volume up on your on the interview so I can hear that better.
It's at 100.
At 100. All right, let me hear it. Let me hear how it sounds real quick.
Are you talking to me?
Because I can't hear it. It's like muted.
Wow, I wouldn't be surprised.
Can y'all hear that in the chat?
Tim said he could. So I'll just redo the scenes.
Project Library.
Oh, God. That should work it. Can you hear it at all?
No, I can't hear anything. I can't see anything either. Can you hear anything right now that sounds like a little vibration by any chance, like right now?
No.
No? Okay, awesome. If anyone else can, let me know. That's annoying, but we got a little back massager thing. My brother bought me a new chair for Christmas. I needed a gaming chair bad because my lower back was killing me with the computer chair I've been using, and he went all out on this thing. It's got like a lower back fucking massager with like 6 different speeds and different rhythms and stuff. This thing is great. Okay. It's like I can hear, but I can't. I don't know what's up with that audio on the
entire share audio.
I'll be back in just. I'm gonna see if I have any White Claws in my fridge. I'll be back in just a second.
Okay. Well, let's see what else I can do.
It's a Christmas miracle, Pat. We got to your mother right here. Right?
Yeah. So can you hear it at all?
Still can't hear it.
Dang.
It's like I can tell that like something's trying. It almost sounds like something's trying to play, unless it's just the background I'm hearing from you. I don't know what. I wonder what. Oh, here you go. Tim and Joel with the save here in the chat.
Share audio. Yeah, I did. Yeah, watch. That's what I did. Share screen. Share audio. Share.
Get the trigger done. We got to pull the trigger.
There we go.
We're just trying to keep it away, like you said.
Now it's working.
I mean, that match has got so much meat on that, just like Roman does. It's just ridiculous. And those two, and it's
What's Sean wearing? Is that? It looks like
he's wearing a Bengals jersey, but the thing is that when I click off and share the audio on this, I click on the application, right?
Uh-huh.
You know, it goes on photo and it just won't let me do it. I don't have that problem that often with this.
Raw because
all good. I can still hear it.
Raw.
He's wearing a Bengals jersey. He almost looked like he was wearing one of those fucking orange Dragon Ball Z uniforms that
That's possible. They got super high demos.
looks like the dude in the picture.
Into that price.
Yeah, Goku.
They're looking
Yeah, there you go.
as far as the WWE TV, oh man, it's so hard to get invested in this stuff emotionally. SmackDown does a
Powder on 6.
because they've got those three things anchoring the show of late. They got the Intercontinental.
Hey, yeah. Happy,
Lee and Sasha, and then they got the main.
said happy Hanukkah to Joel a few weeks ago. I'm Jewish as well, so happy Hanukkah, happy Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Happy Kwanzaa. That's
They got a condition.
that's tomorrow.
I feel like I need to care again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's literally they've been slapping us, the viewers, in the face a little bit.
It's like gonna look like everybody's like multiple screen kind of thing, like the whole. Oh my god! This is gonna be an adventure. I've never had this issue.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Boxing Day tomorrow. That's for Canada. What does that actually represent, Powderon? What is Boxing Day? I don't even know. I mean, to me, I'd start thinking like Muhammad Ali appreciation or something like that. And obviously, that isn't what it is. I know it's a Canadian holiday. Please educate me. Boxing Day and gaming streaming. Nice. What are y'all going to be gaming tomorrow?
After this, I'm gonna be gaming right after this. I don't have to. I have to be out of my house by 2:30 because I have to go to New Hampshire.
Gotcha. The audio stopped again. I don't know what the hell's up with this thing.
Like literally, if I click on this, it will only give me the option for that. Click on that. Go to Applications, Windows. Wants to connect to screen.
Tim and Joyce, good question because of for Boxing Day or what you're going to be gaming. If y'all need an extra, it might be free tomorrow. There's no UFC for a couple weeks. That's usually the issue. Like, I want to hang out on those gaming streams for Fightful, even if I'm just like hanging out in the chat. But they're usually doing it during UFC shows, so like I have to be watching those.
Any of them would right now because they can't come over here right now.
Yeah, but still, it's fun to talk about. Now, you like fantasy football, obviously. I like fantasy football.
I mean, that sounds good. What's the issue beyond that? Like that sounds all right.
The visual kind of thing, because with the screen on screen, it's literally showing everything down the line, so you can't see it. But oh well.
What if you minimize or maximize just the screen that was just in front there? Like if you maximize that, all we really see is we just see like your time and stuff on the bottom. That's it. Like your apps and time. So
yeah,
in my mind are
this works pretty well. We were not seeing any of the extra stuff.
And maybe Drew, and if not Drew.
So what were y'all talking about here? What was the topic right here?
But I'm saying
we were just talking about that week, and we were talking about Drew and Reigns and all of that. Talk about Night of Champions and
then
is this before or after Reigns had come back from?
This is
this is gonna be fun to watch and see, playing a guessing game and stuff like that. it's good.
My hope is that they I just want them to follow it. That's it. I just want them to follow it and make sense of it.
And it's perfect.
It's
thing.
the same thing Sean
Recently, Raw
says.
has
He
started
wants
making
everything to make sense, which is absolutely true.
The only thing that happens,
Yeah, for sure.
topics come up. I have.
I feel like it's not as important when you're talking about like the 10-year-old fans of the WWE's like really trying to.
And
That's like their demo now is like the young kids that aren't going to care. But when it comes to like us, yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's really stupid.
The one thing I think of with NXT with Takeover coming up is like, you have to top the other person kind of aspect. So
That's you having to resize, Sean, because
Yeah.
because of OBS. Yeah, I've been there.
that we could have.
Okay, so that worked out. I just double checked on my phone about the everything. So yeah,
There's been some
it-
pay-per-views where
it
they set the bar.
OBS had to be redo every time. It was ridiculous, especially with match memories. It got worse because I had my notes on one side and I had
like some of those matches.
the conversation going in the other when I recorded it. So I didn't know it resized like 6 times.
As of right now, I think
Dude, well, it's because there's
does is
so
going
in OBS there's 2 NDI options, and they look almost identical in OBS. One of them will do that with this resizing, the other one won't. And I didn't realize that until I trial and errored it enough to just find out that there was 2 options. I used to deal with that shit a lot also, man.
especially with Kyle O'Reilly and Finn Balor main eventing.
Kyle O'Reilly, Finn Balor. Yeah, that's happening again. That'll be fucking awesome.
Nah,
I'm happy with Breeze.
if you guys want to pop in, you can.
They gotta.
I'll send it to
They gotta fix the tag.
these guys. So hold on.
Like, what do you mean? Like them being champions or
No,
what?
the whole division, all the divisions on all 3 brands, they have to fix.
If you
You
guys
might
want to
wanna-
pop in,
Well, they splitting everybody up. It's very
There wasn't anything
No.
bad there.
it's hard for me to get invested when I know that no.
well, the thing is that
makes decisions.
Tim or
isn't
Joel
really
want to pop
invested
on,
either. It's very
so
frustrating.
that's
Yeah,
why I
yeah.
had to back off.
No. That's fine. I'm always sketched out showing my DMs to anybody.
They're not used.
Like when my DMs pop up. Now there's nothing bad there, but there's like random wrestlers and shit in there. Every now and then there's like
Those tag teams.
something I'm like, oh, don't want anyone seeing that.
Okay, so I'll put it like this: the beginning of the 1990s, you had the Nasty Boys, you had the Hart Foundation, you had the Rockers, you had
True.
teams, Legion of Doom, Demolition. The beginning of the 2000s, Edge and Christian and the Dudleys and Hardys. Those are the 3 everybody talks about, but then people forget. Oh yeah, the APA.
Got
were
friends and family
around
popping in
too.
now.
Cool
Merry
were
Christmas,
around
Roger.
too. Like they had.
Yeah, Roger, Merry Christmas.
Tag team division. It was very
You had
deep.
the Bushwhackers
AEW runs
too,
about
right?
a little
The
bit
early 90s.
90s, but they weren't really doing much of anything. They were there for comedy fodder
Jabbas.
and all that stuff, and weren't really there for much else. But every so often you've had these rich tag team divisions pop up, and I mean
AEW right now.
because it's easier.
It's interesting to see like the differences between like AEW, TNA, and like how they all counteract to certain divisions compared to other brands now. I sat back and I realized that.
Yeah.
Makes it so much easier to show that personality when you're not walking out in front
I
of
think part of that we haven't seen yet also.
with this person. You can
Yeah, I think the reason some of these people signed where they did is because I think AEW is they're about to be doing a thing with
never
Impact, but I think they're also going to be bringing in ROH and New Japan, and I think they're all going to be involved.
I have not felt that they've cared about tag team wrestling since probably on SmackDown.
Another resize.
Another resize.
I would say 2001. I would say probably the end of 2001 was the last time I felt like WWE main roster really cared about their tag team division.
Yeah,
Pretty accurate.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah, I completely agree. They have a lot of good tag teams at some points. The chat's even saying the Usos, the New Day.
It's real recent though. There was a big gap.
Yeah, this was done in September.
It's a nuisance, and he wants to keep everybody single. But a lot of people.
To me, it's an attraction.
Yeah.
To me, it's something easy that you can say, look, this is different than the singles match we're going to have.
100%.
Different style. different.
So AEW literally, when they started, they're like, we're going to focus on tag team wrestling because nobody else is for some reason, and it's fucking good.
AEW, they're going
Go figure.
all in.
And now they have an abundant amount of talent.
Yeah, almost. I'm not going to say too much, but like it's a good problem to have for them because even like Dark has great matches. Like it's
So I mean, a
doing
lot
great stuff.
I'll watch NXT, but
You said this earlier. That hat does not go with that jersey.
So
Yeah.
it's really difficult to do.
Wait, your hat doesn't go with your jersey? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the Red Sox hat with the Bengals jersey.
A little off, I guess. I'm not much of a fashion dude. I would never.
I'm not, but when I'm like watching my own stuff, I'm like, wait a minute, if I put my Bruins hat with that because it's black and white, I'm like, that would have probably looked a lot more better for somebody who's watching it. It's weird. It's like I've never thought about myself in a different light. And I'm now looking like, okay, if this hat works with this, how does it present myself out there for somebody who's watching? So it's like I'm thinking of all the small details now that I never could. I used to, when I meet people and talk to them, I'd sit there in the corner and I could figure out who they are within a few minutes. But other than that, it's just now I'm like doing this. It's like more self-aware of certain things.
Yeah, Impact,
Sure.
Impact, NXT.
Issa, what's up? Merry Christmas. Love you and Roman very, very much. XOXO. You are the best.
AEW seems like
Little Roman had a birthday the other day. It looked like a lot of fun. I saw a lot of pictures. I showed my family the pictures too. Roman's still the background of my fucking computer, by the way. Like right now.
Mine is the Garden.
Oh gosh.
Nice.
Yeah, the when I went to the hockey game in beginning of the year.
Rose's work. I think that Nyla Rose is very good. They're getting.
It'll be nice to be able to get back out to that kind of stuff next year, hopefully.
Got to put on like.
It'll be easier to do, I think. It feels so weird. Like I do random drives now because I don't like being home as much. So just to get out of the house, I mean, I go to work, I go home, like I'll go up to New Hampshire to see my friends, and I'll have a few people come over with their kids and stuff. But it feels so weird just going house to house, whereas I could have just gone certain places and not have to worry about it. Like I could gone to the White Mountains and not cared, you know?
True.
Now it's like,
a stupid red cage.
Issa, I am looking through your Twitter right now, and I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing any Christmas pictures of Roman. What am I missing here? What's going on? If you're not posting them, send them hit me in those DMs, Issa, with those cute little Roman pictures.
Elimination Chamber, and a good example for just for themselves would be like.
She has the coolest dog. I can't get over it. I fucking love Roman.
There's big sexy Joel Pearl.
It's a lazy day, and I'm not using a regular microphone.
Me either, dude. I didn't take the time to set mine up. I'm using like the desktop audio, so I'm hoping it sounds all right. What's up, dude?
Hey, man, how you doing?
You having a good Christmas?
L'chaim.
Oh, yes. Please and thank you.
Almost any match would be used.
Throwback. Merry Christmas, man. How you doing?
Any gender.
I'm about to go grab my stuff from my sister. I think she hinted that one of the shirts said "Wreck everyone and leave."
Tougher for women to
Nice.
do Royal Rumble matches because biologically, most women are shorter.
So I think she got me 2 wrestling shirts because I was joking her about it, about how Hannah has a bunch of them. And I think she's got me started on it. So she got me, I think one I was saying was the Edge one that says "Got Grit," and then the Roman one, and then a gift card.
Nice.
So
fitting into something.
Other than that, it's just been really quiet. And I figured this could be an idea, but we need to do a watch along so that way we could redeem ourselves from the past ones. Freaking dumb OBS.
I have a feeling in my gut that
It happens.
a match where it's innovative.
Yeah. Is that a Samoa Joe hoodie, Joel?
Yes, it is. As I just replied to it in the chat.
Because
I didn't even know. Yeah, I had his shirt when it first came out. That same logo. I like that because it's my initials too. The SJ logo looks cool.
Oh yeah.
with them. I mean,
Dude, that's perfect.
There's rumors.
Yeah, I almost ripped it off when I started my podcast. I was like, I'm just going to take this and make that go. And I was like, I think I'll just do that on my own, I think.
Natalia in the future.
The T-shirt that was just Joe, Joe, Joe. I wanted to take duct tape or electrical tape and just put an L at the end of all of them.
Joel, there you go. Nice.
We're watching a episode, guys. If you're watching, of me talking to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful about September 27th this year.
That's fair. Honestly,
Talk about Night of Champions and stuff. I am here with two of the most amazing guys ever, Mr. Jensen and Mr. Pearl.
Oh, okay. I see what we're doing here.
That emulator's sick. I'm gonna say this.
Trying to get booked, throwback? What the hell, man? Being so nice over there.
Awesome.
I'm nice.
I'm kidding.
I don't have to drink. I don't drink. I don't have to drink a half a yard and call Miz a bitch anytime I feel like it.
Purposes, I can't capture it or do anything.
Actually, I did twice now.
Actually, RJ City told me to use
that half a yard was awesome, by the way.
Oh, you're talking about that fucking pitcher you had. I was trying to figure out what you're talking about. That big beer pitcher, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's a half a yard of beer.
It's gonna be
That's badass, actually. I'm impressed.
Anything else down the pike for Fightful Gaming that, in your mind, is prevalent?
Oh, when you bring up Fightful Gaming.
Yeah, let's hear this.
Out with like wrestling and MMA and boxing gaming, and if like a wrestler or an MMA fighter.
This is just right after the announcement too, like a week after.
Post something like that.
I'm waiting for WrestleMania. Like that's supposed to be out in like 2 months again. Finally, they're saying that's going to be great. And the AEW game will
become a primary news source.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about the AEW games until I see them.
Now,
if it does,
Joel, since you've been on and Steven, you have been on, but Joel's been on the recent shows. Do you like how the set of the show, my shows, basically evolved from being something like this, where it was us fidgeting watch-alongs and stuff, where it's like this setup, or the way that it is now with the StreamYards where people popping in and out?
I like, honestly, my whole thing is I want everybody's show to be their own style. So like the way that you've been doing it is great because you're bringing in a community and letting them talk about wrestling, and that's great. That's the stuff that we need. So I like where it's come from. I like where you're going to. It's good. You can see that you've changed and you've adapted, and it shows. It's been a good year.
The WWE series games.
Yeah, just to think this was started in May with a Dragon Ball video game tag saying a legendary character is coming.
I like
had Rob made that too.
I thought 2K maybe 16 or 17 was good, and 19 was like okay. 2K20 sucked. Sucked so bad.
I haven't played since 2K18. I gave up on it.
That and I
played 2K16 just on a test run with a PS3 emulator, and it was fine. And then I was like, Jeremy, we can do PS3 games. We can play 2K whatever. And he's like, why? Why would we do that? Like, valid. Let's go back to what we were doing.
Well, I mean, that's the thing with like the with those 2K games. Like, I like playing online, and it was so scuffed. Like you basically had to like cheap people out of using all the reversals and then just like do stuff to them, and that was the only way to win. So I would just create characters with cheap punches, jabs, spinning roundhouse kicks, and some people couldn't block, and then just hit them with signature and finishing moves over and over, and it was no fun. And they just never made it better year after year. I just gave up.
Yeah, exactly.
I miss playing like No Mercy and stuff like that.
Yes.
The game they made for the GameCube, I miss. I think it was Reckoning.
Yeah,
Day of Reckoning.
I miss that. My sister brought up, if you remember the Pokemon games that they had for the GameCube, where it was just so weird. You had to go to a shop and buy stuff and then feed it and then go back and forth. It was just, my sister liked that stuff. But
sounds like a Tamagotchi.
But it was just, but it was just for like Pokemon. It wasn't
right.
You turn the console on and you do that.
Separated, going through a divorce and stuff.
Like, do y'all remember the game Seaman for the Dreamcast?
I remember it, but I never played it.
It's like the weirdest game in history where you're like raising this half man, half fish thing, and like it has like the internal clock in the Dreamcast. So like depending on how long it's off, like the thing will like grow up a little bit more, and like it's a kind of ahead of its time because you're communicating through a microphone you're talking to it through a mic on the controller, and the thing's actually responding to you. And this is in like the year 2000 or whatever, so it was like pretty mind blowing. But it's the weirdest fucking game ever. Like it's bizarre.
And then you
reminded me of it, like taking care of like a virtual creature.
I remember my brother got a Tamagotchi. He went to like FAO Schwartz's in New York and got one on like he was on like the band trip. It was a whole thing. Like he came home with it and it was like a yellow Tamagotchi and he was so stoked. It was so much fun. Tamagotchis were just the strangest fad.
They were. Did you ever have the? I think they were called like Digimon. They were like the same kind of thing, but they like fought other ones. Like you could link them, and you could actually fight your friends, and they did the same. Like they raised theirs and all that stuff.
No,
yeah, they were all weird ones. Yeah,
it was
literally
really cool.
like Digimon, like the Digimon looking things where you attached them, and it looked like they were doing an entire digital story through the entire thing.
Yeah, it was wild. Those were like mid 90s, late 90s also, which was like, it was fun because you'd like raise them on your little Tamagotchi looking thing. And then like, if you and your friend had one, you were in the same class, you'd like walk over to his desk, link him up real quick, walk back to your desk and like be able to fight each other. It's awesome.
It's an experience I need to have.
On my days off.
Well, now you can, because now you just play online with anybody.
Right, that's a good point.
But yeah, back in like 96, back when I was like rocking like my Goldberg t-shirt, like 98 and shit, that was like those were the days. Fucking playing Pokemon and Digimon. I had all the cards, and I still have some of the cards up on my wall. Like I kept some of those holograms and like display them and shit. I'm a fucking
you know that there's a Charizard out there that's worth $3 million out there.
Dude, it kills me because, dude, I have a problem. Like I collect collecting that I do is like it's and I collect every single Pokemon card.
I have a jersey problem. I'm up to 22 now. I'm like, yeah. My top whole thing is going to be filled with jerseys by the time I'm 50.
Hell yeah, man.
I think this is where me and Sean are talking like one-on-one about stuff.
And before the super chat that I donated
talking about how I got into Fightful.
And did you hear the podcast I did with Wild Boy? Speaking of, everybody needs to hear that. That guy's phenomenal.
Yeah, I listened to it today.
Okay. A lot of the stuff that on that is, real. And
I'll be back in just a second.
Recording with him soon. I'm going to do a roundtable with Hannah and Rob, and I'm excited for that.
This is when the podcast just started.
And be out Saturday.
How many weeks were you into the podcast when you sat down with Sean here?
I just started the first week before that. And the numbers for the podcast are doing good. Now they look at established, I think, viewers. I look at plays because doing all that stuff for communications, they tell you it's not a matter who's listening. It's a matter how many times they re-listen. It doesn't matter the audience. It matter how many times they come back to listen if they forgot something and they want to re-listen to it, stuff like that.
I would come home days off after going out with friends and stuff like that, and I'd just shut the door, barricade myself, and not come out. And then lo and behold, I was looking for something for NXT. It was a takeover week, and my friend there, where you are talking to Hunter. What?
And then you heard Fightful and you got really depressed. You're like,
nah.
Life is looking good because it can't get any worse than listening to a Fightful podcast.
Well,
and it pulled you out.
What actually happened was that I got more curious. I sat there and listened to the whole thing, and I was intrigued. So then I would go back to the site on the YouTube channel. I would listen to the review shows with Alex and you, and then Warren and stuff like that. And I would literally be working the next day on a Tuesday.
Check out the one with Joel coming out on Saturday, by the way.
Are you watching it?
Oh, yeah.
I put
Yeah,
two
it's
songs on there,
Watching
two
me
Christmas songs, and one of them Joel's gonna hit me up and say, "Why the hell?"
And
Oh, God, you used that Mariah Carey song, didn't you?
stuff in my head.
I plead the fifth.
Too.
It's fine. Mariah will get all the money from it.
Got me.
I put something you at the end that you would probably appreciate. Ben Crosby, "White Christmas."
And if
Oh, all
anyone
right.
hasn't checked out,
That's
Rapping
good stuff.
with Grief, you need to do that. It is very good. But to be honest, my friend, and I want to.
I did listen to the one with Ron. It was really good. Not actually really good. It was really good.
Person.
There's a lot of really interesting conversation that you guys had.
Created a legend in the community.
The fact that his internet kept dropping off, I had to put,
And
two Will Smith songs in it.
you were donating your hair. It was literally.
It's still fine. It all comes together.
I feel like I'm gonna cry.
I don't try to get emotional on camera as much.
In life, certain.
It's still okay. Yeah, I mean, listen. I think you and Steven were talking about it earlier. It's like it's.
You remember that one super chat?
You're emotional people. It's gonna happen.
I mean, if you bring it
And
up,
that's okay.
individual super chats.
No, I know.
Even though Ron Patel is the super chat legend right now, this is where the whole thing started with me, at least.
Oh hell yeah,
You remember?
we're over 200 followers on Fightful Twitch.
I mean, if you bring it up,
That's a good day right there.
individual super chats.
No, I know.
I'll remember when prompted. Yeah.
It was the one where you were. I think it was the review show.
Have you heard that story about the super chat that started me to get down to this path?
No.
Okay, this is where it is.
Okay.
You remember that one super chat, the first one I did?
I mean, if you bring it up, I'll remember it. Individual super chats.
No, I know.
I'll remember when prompted. Yeah.
It was the one where you were.
I got to bounce in about 25 minutes or so. My dad's coming over with all of my presents, so I'm like, okay, that's great. I'll get my Christmas present. That's cool.
So this is the part I was telling Joel. Have you heard the story about the super chat I sent for Sean that made me find Fightful and stuff? Steven?
Super chat that you sent that made you find.
Yeah, how I found it in the first super chat, and it kind of started me going on this. This is the story right here.
Why isn't anybody answering questions? I didn't know about super chat. I was new to this shit. And then I sent one and I said that this is for Sean to donate for cutting his hair, and I explained what I was going through. And then after that, my mom passed. I met an amazing woman.
No, I'm not with.
And I kept sending like $2 here, $2 there, and once in a while, and you hit me up saying thank you, I appreciate it, and I'm just saying this because tonight's show is going to be short because literally this is very emotional for me, and I appreciate Sean taking his time out when normally it's his day off, and the thing is that now I have a friend in arms for the rest of my life, and I know that. And without you guiding me through all this stuff in the last year, and I've been wanting to say this, I think I said off camera, because of what you did for your friend, it's now sending a precedent in my life where I need to do support. So me saying that do good deed, pay it forward, it's not a moniker. It's not me saying it. It's encouraging people to do so.
I'm donating my hair to the same spot, at least for kids. So.
You are a good person.
I can't. I have no hair on the top of my head.
I'm saying that's what I'm doing with mine. Like I didn't even know about that specific charity or that specific organization until Sean. I was always planning on donating my hair. I just didn't know where to, but he's the one who showed me that spot. So
getting it out there does that.
Yeah, I did mine in 2011, and I donated to Wick for Kids. It's man, it's a good feeling when it's for two reasons. One, donating it to a great cause, but also the weight literally off your shoulders and off of your head afterwards.
Dude, I'm looking forward to like showers being about half as long. but yeah, no, I'm glad that it exists because at first I wasn't sure because I wanted to make sure my hair was going somewhere that people did not have to pay for. That's what I was worried about, and I want to make sure that it's totally free for anybody who needs it.
then I was like, oh, wait.
I made the
This is what
conscious
she
decision in
She
college
sat
because I
around
got
saying
sick of
about
having
that,
long hair in high school to
But
like
not only that, she had
literally
life
just shave it
weighing
all
on her
off.
shoulders while she
So now it's like I fall.
and
It's weirdest
kind
thing.
of
I
bring
fall
it
asleep
full
when I go get my
circle,
hair
and that's
cut now.
why
Yeah.
if I
Some people can rock the bald head. You're good at it. I don't know how good I'd look with the hair.
look,
I don't know.
to do any of that because that would
I've had really, really short hair.
I don't think that anybody
Can't do it. The way it is now is probably the way it'll stay for a while.
everybody should
Nice. Good looking.
This has to get worked on. Yeah.
They shouldn't
Dude, fuck it. It's the holidays. There's pandemic. Fuck it.
how they look.
Yep. My guy shut down weeks ago because of pandemic, like re-shut down.
I never thought
So
of a platform where
my
That's gonna
wife
happen here,
might do
probably.
the sides.
hair, let alone
Nice.
my
Yeah.
God, we've raised money for wigs for kids. We've raised money for
For kids, there you go.
kids, for Sammy for Syria, for Sprinkles
That's a good one.
for No Kid Hungry, like so many different.
Ron Patel doing
Humanity September, we're
exactly. I was
doing
just getting to
Patel,
that.
and basically, I'm going to order I think $1,200 worth of supplies, and over the next.
This was
year,
literally
when
3
they
days, by the way, done
up, I've got them
before
stocked
the
away.
end of No
Got you all
Profanity
taken care of.
September.
Anytime kitty litter or cat food or like
Is there a reason that
that
he does that? Like, is there a specific reason he does, or
the typical necessities?
What about the No Profanity September?
yeah?
That's not an opportunity that
Ron,
to
I
have
think Ron
usually.
says it on the
So to be
podcast
able
we
to help
did
people like that, it makes me very
about
happy.
how that all
If
came
I
to
was
go
able to help
and
you
stuff.
in any way, man, that makes
I think Ron just donated more stuff to in gift cards for everybody. I think it was like 570 gift cards, Amazon gift cards, and $570 in Amazon gift cards.
Sure.
Gotcha.
From
Yeah, if he's still here, if he'll bring it up, and I'm pretty sure No Profanity September was basically like there's a lot of swearing, and it takes away from whatever you're talking about. So try not doing it for a month and see what happens, because we all do it. Like,
Oh yeah.
as much as we try not to, sometimes it's, we're passionate about a certain thing, so we bring it up, and if we're upset about how wrestling is, God, we're going to talk about it and use certain words that some people may not want to hear so often. So
or we're just
true.
emotional in that day, and we just don't. We need a release, like a therapeutic release.
And then she started
totally
escalating down quickly, becoming hospice home.
Talk about my mom.
Seeing her deteriorate. Now, I told my sister this. I don't think I've told you this. May 21st last year, because we already passed 1 year. Her eyes were in the back of her head when they transported her to the hospital. And I already knew, but I don't ever want to see somebody tell me or anything. And it's not me saying I don't want to hear it.
Did she pass away in May?
Yeah, May 23rd.
And I know
2 to 3 days before Memorial Day.
My mom's May 22nd, so that'll be easy for me to remember when this comes up each year. I'll be able to reach out to you.
Right in front of your eyes. It's not. And
that's why we joke she had a thing for holidays.
Like literally beginning
4th of July, she told me she had it. Easter terminal, and she almost made it to Memorial Day.
Sox game, joking about me being stupid and all that stuff, and then the next thing you know, she's gone. And I will honestly say this much: my mom brought me my girlfriend and guided me towards her, and I want to thank her for that. And I know she listens and stuff.
And a few months later, like a month and a half later, Crystal broke up with me.
And because of what you,
yeah, man, it's a shitty feeling. Not right for you, though, man. I mean, it's all. I'm a very strong believer in the Harold and Kumar quote that the universe tends to unfold as it should. So things will work itself out, man.
Totally.
Wild Boy, and it goes for both of you because, man, I think you probably figured out when you did the show with him, you all are an awful lot alike and different.
I miss you, DK, man. If you're watching, Merry Christmas.
I know that I never got to meet either of your moms, but I know they had to be great people because they raised you two. So, I mean, that's a pretty good indication. It's a pretty good legacy to leave behind that your parents raised you and Wild Boy's parents raised him. And, man, we're lucky to have you guys. We're lucky to know you guys because that's not something I would have had 3-4 years ago. I wasn't even as active then, and now I am. And it's unfortunate the circumstances that led us to this, but hey, I'm in the end, I'm glad that I have a few more friends.
Yeah, and I'm hopefully after COVID. I know you don't drink alcohol and stuff, but one day we can
I do.
food and just
Yeah, of course.
I
do
still
go
want to
bars.
take
I do go
Sean
pubs,
to a
not
pub, a
often,
Boston
but,
pub. There's nothing like a pub if you go to a Boston pub
man.
there ain't no pub
or New England.
Dude,
Repeat
I'm
myself.
fucking,
I'm gonna guess.
dude, I'm fucking down. Like, if I'm ever up that way, I'd love to drink some beer with you, man. That'd be a lot of fun.
We don't have any
I'm actually planning to head down to Georgia at some point in next year.
Yeah, let me know, man. I'm in Atlanta. Like, you can't miss it.
But I want
My step siblings live in Buford,
because I know
Okay.
there's a
Cool.
special
right near Lawrenceville.
you want to spend
Yep.
and it's almost right
I haven't been down that
Oh,
way
yeah.
in a long time.
Telling you, Joel, we got fucking better Hummintoshins than you understand. My brother, the boxing trainer, one of the dudes that he trains he's a chef. Like, that's like his full-time job is he bakes and cooks stuff, and he's Jewish and makes the best fucking Hummintoshins, dude. It's so good.
That I'll give you. Then again, I'm in Toronto, where you can go down a major street, and for like a good 3-mile stretch, it's all Jewish bakeries and restaurants.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We definitely don't have that here in Atlanta, and I didn't have it in Nashville either. Fucking
Nashville, I love it.
I gotta ask this: how's it feel that you could actually get an invitation to get a hot dog from Jimmy Van?
That was really funny, and I've joked about it before with like on and offline that like I can walk up to his office, like I know where it is, and it'd be creepy, obviously, but like I know where they are, and it's cool. I respect the hell out of Jimmy and his team, so it was kind of fun for him to say that on stream.
It'd be funny if you walk out with the SRS hat, mask, and all of a sudden just walk around
like a boss.
Yeah, right.
Telling you that.
There's your Halloween costume.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess so.
That's fucking funny. I don't know about Toronto specifically, but like my mom was from Montreal, and she used to talk about how they had like these bagel places that were just like the best bagels in the world out that way. So, and that's a very Jewish thing, bagels, of course.
Joel can contest it traveling around New England that there's nothing like a Boston pub. Just the food and the atmosphere and stuff. You walk into one pub, they won't be playing music and it'll just be food and everybody talking. And the next minute there's an Irish band sitting there playing, all different tunes and stuff.
Just tell them what's going on with you, Sean. And like I said, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Sean.
Oh gosh, we got everything over at Fightful, guys. Check out Fightful and keep checking out Throwback Show.
I'm waiting for Joel's shameless plug for gaming.
Twitch.tv/Fightful Gaming. We're over 200 subs now.
Nice.
My job.
Yes. Well, 200 follows because we can't officially have subs
You
yet.
should go work at Amazon.
Not yet. You'll get that join button now.
Well, you know what I do when I got home from Amazon? I would get on a stream and I would talk about wrestling with people that I like, and that's what I like to do, and that's what I'm here to do. And that's
also check out Tim and Joel in the ring. And go check out Fight Talk. Go do all these things for these guys. Support each other. We support everything.
DGMC that have been around Fightful for so long. Thank you guys. I really mean it. And I don't get to say it.
You got one special woman that near and dear to my heart in the chat right now.
Crystal,
I see her in the chat. I bring out the celebrities in your life. I am a draw.
Yeah.
So that's all I can say.
But
such a draw, I didn't want to turn on his ring light for the interview.
Working at Fightful is a dream job. I passed up a lot of other spots to stay at Fightful, and I don't regret it ever. I never sit there and think, oh, I wonder if I would have taken that wrestling job.
Can't be doing that.
I don't regret it at all. All due respect to those places.
Powder on 6. I don't know what you're talking about, but hit me up. I'm not sure exactly what that last message is about.
And Rob Wilkins in the super chat too. Like, I like the family and the environment and the community we built, and you're a big part of that. So thank you.
Well, the other thing also is
I think the first time I saw you, Pat, was in Kayla's stream when she was doing the fundraiser for Minneapolis police or whatever.
Oh my God, yeah. I
got
got
a
a message.
Yeah.
Would literally be thankful for you, Rob.
I think that's the stream on hers that I said something that based off of what my mom would say, and they're like, no, you don't get it, and I'm like, well, I'm always down to learn.
And
It was
Ron saying, stop cursing, Jensen.
Having good friends, having a good friend, having a good family.
Oh wait, does he really want me to stop? Because I can't.
No, that's what he meant about the whole no profanity September. He's probably gonna have you do it because I already had too much obscenities in 30 minutes.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Because I mean, I definitely. I say a lot. I mean, I definitely cuss a lot, but if I know I'm not supposed to, I can definitely turn it off too. But that's the fun of that, though. It's like fuck it, you know what I mean? Just say whatever the fuck you want. Like
I've already had a conversation with Ron about me doing it, and he understands that I just live in the moment sometimes, and I'll just say it. Like the other day at the show, I was just in a bad mood to begin with, and I'm like, you know what, screw it. I was trying to stop, but once you stop, you can't just not.
Yeah. The only time I try to filter myself is when I record the Weekender. I refrain from like F-bombs. I might shit here or there might come out, but it's not like hardcore cursing. And if Jesse's daughter can hear what I'm saying when we're doing our live chats, then I don't cuss. But that's pretty much it. Otherwise, it's like against the internet. Who cares? Unless you're specifically a show for a certain audience, like a certain age group. Like if you're a show that's you're marketing towards children, you shouldn't do it. But I mean, there's a bunch of 30-year-olds sitting around. Who cares?
Teach them early, man. That's what I say.
Exactly, man. It's like the Jay and Silent Bob, man. When the little kid's up against the quick stop at the beginning of the movie. Fuck.
Check it out.
Fuck. And they you fast forward like 30 years, and then fuck.
I love
and they do
the thing is that the sisters too on Machine Change, two sister customizations, and everybody, it's the holidays. If you didn't get a gift for somebody or you want to do something for a donation, just hit them up. They'll do something for you guys.
It's just starting out.
What was the name of that?
Sisters Customizations. It's a Facebook group. It's Crystal and Kelly's stuff. Even though like me and Crystal are not together, I still want her to do good, obviously. So I'm still gonna keep promoting her stuff.
Well, that's nice of you, Pat. You're a much better man than me. I wish awful things on my exes, so that's very nice of you.
I just don't talk to mine.
Yeah, right. That's the same thing with me. I'm a very out of sight, out of mind type guy. I'm like, all right, it's over. You do your own thing. Blocked on Facebook, blocked on Twitter, blocked on everything. Have a good life.
I don't go that hard. I just unfriend them, and that's the ball game.
I can't do it. It gets weird. But hey, more power to you. If you end on good terms, that's fine. That's one thing. To be fair, there are a few ex-girlfriends I have that were totally cool, but the more serious ones, get out of here. Yeah, especially because a lot of the relationships usually are fucked because like they want to do stuff, and I'm like, can't do anything Saturday. I'm watching the UFC. Can't do anything Sunday. I'm watching the pay-per-view. Can't do anything Monday. I'm watching Raw. Can't do it. And it's like not only is it wrestling related why our relationships get screwed up, but then like I'm like that's like pretty much. I mean, my full-time job is to video edit stuff. And then everything else I do on the side is talking about pro wrestling and fighting. So it's like, I'm sorry. Like, I mean, that's just my priority right now. I know it's selfish. I get that. But like, I'm not married yet, Once that happens, different rules. But like.
It's balance, man.
Yeah. Are you married, Joel?
I am married. Yeah. I haven't worn this thing in a while, but yes.
But does that work out well for you? Like your wife supportive and likes the shit that you do and whatnot?
Well, yeah. When we first met, not lately, but was touring professionally and I was out on the road. So I told her very, very early in our relationship that, hey, you have to be okay with this. There will be late nights, there will be times away. In like the first 2 years that we were together, I went and worked on a cruise ship. So I was gone for 4 months and like we got accustomed to that and it was fine. And now with like being home all the time, it's actually become a really good scenario for both of us. Like we have the space, we can work separately, but then we get to spend some time together. There's wrestling all the time, but you know, we're trying to find that balance now, because no longer is it I'm just not here so we can't spend time together. It's now we're in the same household, but I got to work on something until midnight or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well,
and now
good.
with the gaming stuff too, now your wife's gonna be like, "Damn it, you're playing video games."
Pretty much. Now I got to set up Jeremy's new computer with him, so that's going to be something after the SmackDown post show that we have to sit down and do. And I'm like, I have an hour after the SmackDown post show tops, and he's like, great, 4 hours. Like, you're gonna get me in trouble. Good stuff.
Who's doing their show tonight? I know since it's holiday.
Oh, it's Jeremy and Sean. Yeah, they Sean was like, I'll do it, and Jeremy is equally a workaholic, so they're both going to do it.
Yeah, no, I can't be a workaholic. I do it at my normal job. If I'm doing this as a full-time job, I'll be like, yeah, no, it's not therapy anymore. It would be fun to do on a regular basis for me, but I know eventually, just like my real job, I'd get burnt out, and I get burnt out at my real job on a normal basis. So
it depends on how you're doing it, though, man. Because like there's when I first started doing stuff, I felt like I needed to put things out. Like, I mean, Spiteful has like a schedule because they're going, post shows based on what is happening live. So I mean, that's one thing. But for your own thing, man, I wouldn't ever worry about it. Like at first, I put all this pressure on myself. Like I need to get out an episode like every other day, or like have to have this guest and that guest, blah blah. And then once it kind of like settled out the way that it did, it was like, if I put up an episode of Fight, like no one was ever complaining about like an upload schedule or anything. You know what I mean? Like it was like I'm putting all this pressure on myself for no reason. And then, then you just kind of figure out a schedule that works for you. Like eventually I do my MMA show on Monday. Me and Jesse do usually Tuesdays. I do an interview usually on like Fridays, do the weekend or on Sunday, and I video edit in between. Like it's fucking chill, dude. Like it keeps you from getting burned out. Another thing that I'll highly recommend, don't talk about shit you don't like. Like if you don't like for me, it was I stopped reviewing WWE outside of like pay-per-views because I was like, what's the point of me hate watching Raw? Like no one's gonna get any enjoyment. Like JD from NY or whatever, like he does a great job of like shitting all over it. I don't need to do that. Like I you know what I mean? Like I think a lot of people force themselves into like, I want to cover wrestling, and then they sit there watching shows they don't like, and I'm like, watch independentwrestling.tv. That's what I'm always promoting. Jump on there. If you consider yourself a wrestling fan, you can't find one thing on that entire site that you like, you don't like wrestling. Like you'll find something you like. If you don't, there's a lot of people that they get burned out because they're talking about something they don't even like over and over and over again. But for me, AEW was huge. I was like, boom, it's back. I love this. I can talk about this, and this is a mainstream show. So that'd be my big advice, man. Like, don't worry about getting burned out, because if you're talking about stuff you actually enjoy, I don't think you will get burned out. And then you can always take a break. Like, there's no one holding a gun to your head, like making you upload. You know what I mean?
No, I know, but I like doing this. This is like therapy. Like me talking to friends and stuff like that. It's instead of talking to somebody who doesn't know me, I'm talking to people who I talk to on a regular day-to-day basis for the most part. Like Joel and me will eat each other up like once or twice a week. I'll talk to Rob maybe 3 times a week and stuff. I try to hit Sean if he's not busy, maybe once every so often and stuff. But it's, for me, like that show I did 2 weeks ago where it was just 18 minutes. I just was into it, not because it wasn't for the show or anything. It's just mentally with everything else coming down, it just all happened at once.
Sure.
So what I mean, burning out, doing this on a regular basis, I work at a high level at doing what I do. Yes, I work on cars. Yes, I talk to people about this stuff for their cars, but I do it at such a high level that my physical and mental aspect of it, I repeat the same jargon over and over again for 12 months on end. And then I literally, like, there are times where I talk some months 355 people in a month, and there's times where it's close to 600 people a month. So it's like, I'm basically worn down, and vacations, they don't last. They're not vacations. You need a vacation from the vacation, though. So we'll see what 2021 happens. So
What's a vacation?
Well, I mean, you're a musician that it technically can be parts of vacations.
24 hours a day just for 1 hour on stage.
I'm telling you, once the pandemic comes up, you're bet your butt you're coming back to Boston.
That'll be up to my touring schedule and whether or not I even get back into music. Who knows at this point?
It's called a laptop. It's a great invention. You could bring it here. We could do a show side by side.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm sitting here with 3 monitors in front of me and 2 cameras, and I basically build out a whole ass setup for this stuff.
Yeah, but still, you can still grab it because that's on a laptop right now. And until I get the $5,000 stuff I need to get eventually.
For the record, this was not $5,000. I piecemealed a lot of shit together.
The one I looked at with all the sound cards and stuff like that, it's like $3,000 because it has the cool intake inside of the system instead of having a natural fan. Yeah. So, but other than that, guys, that was fun watching myself, listening to myself talk about that stuff. I got really 2 great guys pop in, so I really appreciate both taking your time, especially with being family and stuff. Just tell them where they can find you.
All right, go ahead, Joel.
You can find me everywhere at this thing right here at Joel Pearl. That's where you find me. And tomorrow night, I'm going to be gaming with Jeremy Lambert over on youtube.com/Fightful. We'll start Twitch, I think, sometime this or next week, but we're getting there. And yes, Stephen Tenson, you will absolutely be a part of it. Yes, we talked about this.
Yes. Oh, I can't stop dabbing. I'm doing it for the kids.
I'll tell you now, it's Shaq. Shaq is joining us this week. That's why you're not with us this week.
I'm hoping down the line, like for Counter-Strike or something like that, I can get onto the Fightful gaming stuff if it opens up to that point.
Yeah,
I mean the sports. I know there's conversation about doing sports stuff too. So I mean, hell, I'd be down to do a draft or something like that. I did try doing a fantasy draft by myself for football, and I was just like, this is boring. There's nobody to go against except a random person who I don't know. It's better off when you have somebody there.
I gotta bounce. Someone's knocking on my door. Hey, happy holidays, y'all.
Happy holidays, man. Peace.
I'll talk to y'all soon. Have a really good one, y'all. For real. Good to talk to y'all.
Well, I mean, I gotta go too, but it's all good because we're wrapping up there, aren't we?
Yeah, but hopefully we'll get it. But I'll get a huge gaming going. I'm actually gonna probably pay for Among Us within the next week, so that should be interesting.
Do it. It's not too expensive, or you can also play it on your phone for free because you're not necessarily the person streaming it. It could be someone else who's streaming it, and you're just part of the game.
No, I know, but I want to use. I have Steam, which I'm using for Counter-Strike. So
got it.
But go be with your wife. Have a good Christmas.
You too, man. Enjoy.
Well, I don't have a wife, so I can't enjoy that.
Well, no, I mean, enjoy your Christmas and enjoy being around your loved ones. And to everyone, enjoy. We'll see you.
Bye, Joe. Well, that was a lot of fun, guys. Just going to wrap it up. Do a good deed. Pay it forward. Check out Fightful tomorrow. You heard it first. Sean and Jeremy will be on there. Other than that, hold your family. Hold the people you care about. Just enjoy Christmas because even though it's yearly, those things are important. Have a good night.